All right, brands. I think it's a really good topic, especially after we did Pride and Ego. Pride and Ego. Um, Something that I've learned in baseball, and my dad's, stuff that he's taught me growing up. I just think this kind of just parlays very well with that topic that we had just done. So I have up here value. What is it? We've done that one. The Devil Wears Prada. You've heard that one. I know other people out there, I believe, have heard that. I don't care to plant seeds to make them think about this in a negative manner. I just think it's kind of funny. Danielle's dad wears Prada. I noticed that, not in a bad way, but I just noticed, like, as I'm very observant. I think that comes with the character of being a ball player, a pitcher, knowing my surroundings. But I also have a pair of Prada sunglasses. Excuse me. Nor do I believe Danielle's father to be the devil. I am not the devil. Who is the devil? The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I believe we are at war when we see that, and we need to learn more about, I believe, the devil, and that's where this brand topic to me is very important. You said, not in a bad way, Danielle, but you're like, I don't really know, on this topic or where it's going to go. You had some other ones that were more, bigger priority, and I get that. I just think after that last one we did, this is a good topic. So, initially, what do you have on this topic as we go for the word bank? Like, what are the words that come to your mind?
Marketing.
Marketing.
Company.
Okay.
Identity.
I like that. Okay.
Clothing is what I think of.
I'm going to put representation.
That's a good one.
Logo. Same thing. What other words can we think of?
Ambassador.
Ambassador.
Like a brand ambassador. A
What?
instead of an E.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. In. That's bad. We live and we learn. Definitely wasn't winning any script spelling bees when I was a kid, that's for sure. What do you got? Anything else?
Products.
Products?
And money.
What about stamp? Leader? That's about it. Alright. So, something that I learned that I thought was pretty valuable in baseball was taught to me was the value of teamwork, right? And we've got this It started off pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it started off pretty good. Then we've got this logo right here, right? I mean, what logo do we want? That's the thing. Why don't we just
Just
go
use a peace sign.
right here? Question mark. And over here, what goes in that box? Question mark. Alright, so we could have a list of all the different companies, you know, as representation, products, all the different products. What's it matter? We get it, right? Now, in baseball I learned, okay, I'm on this thing out here, you know, there's underneath my feet, there's a ball, or a rubber, my feet touching the ground, throwing the ball that way. It's mirrored, I'm not right-handed, but anyways, throwing the ball that way. The point is what does the audience see? What does the hitter see? Unless I found a way to throw the ball backwards, what would the hitter see?
The front.
The front. So, I think, when I think of a brand, I think of front. And why front?
It's like the face of your company or whatever you're
Yeah.
trying to brand.
So,
Unless you're an animal, sometimes they brand, but
right. And that's for the I don't even know what to say, the rancher to identify who's is whose, right?
what bud is what?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's my butt right there. Yeah. Anyways, as a pitcher throws a ball and delivers to home plate, they've got a uniform. And on that uniform, it's typically not their name. It's the name of the team they're on. Okay? So, for that sense, team. Alright? Now, I was told the value of this, and I thought it was very impactful. And it was beyond the game of baseball. It was again, bigger than that. And that's what I'm happy to share here, as I believe in God. I think anybody that's watched any of these videos, you and I both know my faith. It's pretty cool, as this is why I represent less companies or endorse companies now as much as I care to endorse my faith in God or endorse Jesus on my body. And I told you why. Not because I want to walk around as a preacher man or anything like that, or come off as I'm shoving something down somebody's throat or down their eyes.
Not for attention.
Not for attention. It's the exact opposite. It allows somebody to see a message, possibly, create conversation where I'm not jamming it down their throat.
Displaying the thought or the seed
Exactly.
of.
And freely doing so, right? Like in my freedom, I'm representing something now bigger than myself. This team. When I used to just care about all the other logos and brands or products that I used to like, it was very selfish. When that's all I cared about. When you're on a team, you don't get to pick the colors. You don't get to pick the logo. Not always. Sometimes you have some say, but that's where it depends on that team structure. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into this brand situation. But when I learned and/or was taught, you're here for the name on your chest, not the name on your back, that's kind of a very valuable lesson as I take that through life, especially as a believer. You know, who I represent out in the world. 100% is myself. I have my own brand. You know? I heard this one time. Your body is your business. That meant a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me, especially as a baseball player. If I can't throw a ball to home plate, well, shoot, I'm no longer a pitcher. At best, I'm a catcher. So this is very,
And relating that statement to faith in the Bible, it says your body is your temple.
now, how we conduct ourselves is again this is what this is about. Conduct. Learning the value of a brand, okay? Do I think that the devil wears Prada? What does that mean? Oh, I'm the devil. Again, no. But what does that tell you about me? We talked about $4 sunglasses. $4 pair of
Ozark Trail.
terrible sunglasses right there. Not the Ozark Trail, by the way. That drawing of $4 sunglasses. And the value of that for us was perceived just as high as a frickin' $150 pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
It was actually more valuable because we could go where we were going to go, which was float down a river, and possibly lose those and not lose sleep over it or feel like, oh my God. And that's what's crazy about value and perception. You know, I think this whole issue of conduct right now in our society, within myself, goes back to brand, goes back to ego. Like, who are we? How do we identify? You know, why did you pick identity?
I think everyone's trying to find themselves in the world. So it goes back to a lot of people can kind of hit an identity crisis, and when you're trying to find your identity and where you stand, it's very similar. It's to trying to find your brand and where you can market and how you can succeed. Because you're putting your identity in your brand, as in your brand becomes the front and your identity becomes within.
And that's something that's hard for us to show.
Right. Because everyone wants, or not everyone, but identity can easily be put on a pedestal.
I agree. I definitely agree. And that finding that identity and or, you know, the way you're perceiving yourself or, you know, trying to fit in. You know, I know for me the $4 shades were cool, but I kept wanting to, you know, I wanted the $75 ones. You know, they were cooler. You know, and or they were better quality.
Well, and at some point it becomes like, okay, now I want more shorts or more t-shirts and more hats and more dresses and more this. It's like, well, at what point are you going to be satisfied? Because I think of the amount of times where I've bought so many workout clothes that have different colors or, you know, display, and it didn't even matter what the brand was. It was just as many as I could get in however many colors. When you look back and when you do closet cleanouts or whatever, you realize you don't even like half the stuff and it hasn't satisfied you in any way, shape, or form. It can be a very cyclical cycle. of
Agree.
being caught up in branding and materialistic and all the things that come with it, when in reality, none of that's going to make you happy. God, yourself, your morals, and how you impact others are going to be the things to make you happy.
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you, Danielle. Again, this was that valued lesson. The name on your chest is more important than the name on your back. That representation. This to me is a direct representation of being less self.
Right, selfless.
Yep. So, you know.
And even though it allows you to be more selfless with the name on your front, for instance, but even brands, like you can get caught up in branding wars. You know, I was just reading over there, enemy is war, and you're at war with who? Back to just having a cyclical cycle of materials. Same thing can be with brands, where you just want more and more and connect with more and this and that, where you lose sight of what's actually important.
Yep. I think we start, chasing things like you're saying, and we don't really quantify our decisions. Maybe we do. Maybe we're just wanting to have more stuff in our room or in our house, or we're wanting to climb the mountain and get a better view and take our house with us and anything that we can. It's part of the dream that we've been given in this country, and it comes with a price. And I'm going to continue to shine light on the value of what I believe in order. And this is a lesson that, for me is so humbling with the game of baseball. Why I conduct myself on the mound the way I do. It's not all about me. Although, in my head, I sure try to control as much of what I can,
Well, I think it gets to a point with baseball. It's not about the name on your back. Yes, you're representing the name on your front, but it's not even about that. It's for the game, the fans, and you guys.
Yeah.
Just being able to live out your dream.
It is, and that's
crediting the one up above.
That's the part that I think's so cool where I'm at today, Danielle. And it's funny you say that. I think I've seen guys at that level that's how they are, and it's spectacular to watch the elite come together and play. And it was awesome to be able to say I was at that level for the time I was. I hope to get back to it. That baseball dream, I think, has brought this to light and made it a reality. And then I've understood through time, that representation is far greater than what I thought. And that was what meant a lot to me, playing the game. I had my motives, I had my agenda, like all of us do. That's goals. I was definitely I've been wild, bucked, as some might say, and we'll see where it goes. But I think these kind of conversations are continually just building blocks for us to identify why we do what we do. It's this. It's certainly not wanting to be perceived as, in my head. When I come in peace, I don't want to be perceived as an enemy. And that's why I've talked about, what I talked about in that Pride and Ego was some of the decisions I've made with my body and tattooing myself, in the ways I thought I was going to or wanted to, and I'm glad I didn't. And it's all about representation. And, I'm learning more and more about that value. This is real. This is perception. This is happening. We have a direct impact on the way the world around us is judging us. Now, we can't control if they all, like what they see. As a matter of fact, we can't control any of that. But while we're learning from the world, the world's learning from us. And that brand that we represent, that body being our business, I just want to shine more light on how important I think it is to conduct ourselves in a manner that impacts others the way we want to be treated in return.
Without taking any of the credit.
Right. Yeah, I think this is really cool to learn more about how to be less selfish and be more selfless.
And it's not a competition, especially with all of our brothers and sisters in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we competing with one another of who has the best outfit or who has the best sunglasses or who is the best? It's like, we all came here in one way.
Right.
Whether we like it or not. So, better learn to love everyone or else war is going to break out.
Yeah.
As it already has in some sense.
Mm-hmm. And has been among us for a long time. As I believe, evil. And that's where look at that. Just like take out the D.
I've never looked at it that way.
I mean, to me it's, everyone's trying to blame, and I think it's just identifying. It's not about me saying, oh, just look at the evil.
The evil wears Rada.
It's just money and the root of all evil. I don't believe it's perception. It's the way we're utilizing that currency. I think we have an opportunity to create what we want to create. I do love what I know to be the democracy we have where, people are free to make their choice. It's scary to me when we have decisions that are made that you really feel are not just. And you had no decision in that. And then you feel like, well, okay, why not? That's on you. So I'm learning more about our government and the way we are governed here in the United States. I value the freedom for my speech, my ability to move, what we have, our order in this country, even though some could say the lack of is alarming and has been. I'm not even looking at that. I'm saddened by the, right here, the war. And I've been continually sad, like you said when you were in 4th grade, I'm afraid of war. I've been on the side of the bad guy for so long, and it's because I was perceived as the bad guy. Going to middle school, for my first time to be reintroduced back into public school when it was like pulling teeth for my dad to get me back in because of the efforts that someone had made to try to keep me out of the school district due to what had got me kicked out. And to be, vilified or considered as if I was evil. I had to fight that hurdle my whole life as a young kid. And baseball was my outlet. This was how I identified myself. And when I lost that brand is where I didn't know. So this means so much to me, Danielle. Like, who am I? I had a brother of mine ask me a few weeks ago through Facebook, who are you pitching for? And I responded back with, nobody right now. I wish I had said, in that, I'm pitching for God. Because as a believer, He would have maybe understood that. But in my heart, I know that. Do I need the notoriety? Do I need to hear myself say that, or know that somebody else heard me say that? No. I'm learning that that's invaluable. But this is very valuable. How I feel when I wake up on a daily basis, very valuable. Learning to submit, putting myself second, and putting what first, less of my desires is what I'm continuously learning. I have desires, I have things that I'm fulfilling, but I'm learning less and less of my needs, or less and less of what I thought I needed, and learning that those are truly wants, and I'm learning how much or how little I really need, which is pretty cool. So, I don't know how you like this topic, but again, this was a fun one for me. It's not too long. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I thought it was great.
Cool. Well, God bless everyone.